and welcome to News 9 Digital. Thank you for joining me live. I'm Pratibha. Well, we've been giving you updates on coronavirus, and now we have reached another grim milestone of 75 lakh cases that have crossed across the country. But the silver lining, as we've been speaking quite often, are the recoveries. And of course, now over the last 3 weeks or so, we are also seeing a downward trend in the number of cases being reported. So does that mean we've defeated coronavirus? Well, absolutely not. The fight still continues, and every effort that we put in until now, it needs to be put even more. But there are a few warnings that have come in as well, and an expert committee formed by the government has given out a warning ahead of the festival season. In the coming weeks and months as well, we are going to see several festivals, which means, of course, especially in a country like India, community coming together, people meeting each other much more, and perhaps just a slight probability that people might let down their guards. But this is something that should be avoided at all costs. This expert committee has said that even a slight slip-up could end up in 26 lakh new cases across the country. This, of course, also means that any effort that we put until now would be defeated completely. Just when the country is seeing a downward trend in coronavirus, except for 5 states, and all the other states we're seeing a downward trend, all of that effort would be lost completely. And it's not just the festivals. Of course, festival is a time when people mingle with each other, meet each other much more, and that's something that could cause an increase in the cases. But not just that, even the advent of winter. Now that we're in the winter season, as we know, respiratory illness do tend to stay longer in the winter season. So that's another factor to be kept in mind. But 26 lakh is a really huge number at a time when it looks like the cases are in control. We should be absolutely aware of what the threat is. To discuss more on this, joining us live is Dr. Venkat Rao from the Department of Community Medicine, Shiksha O Anusandhan from Odisha. Many thanks for joining us. Dr. Venkat Rao, although this is something that we do know that, gathering in huge numbers is not something that should be done as of now. It should be avoided. But even within, small families, even if we are meeting close friends, we need to be extremely careful. If you could explain to us how careful we should be, what is the reason that this expert committee has said up to 26 lakh cases can be added?
Yeah, absolutely. The point is very simple and clear, that this Puja festival has come for us. This is not for the coronavirus. Virus does not know that Puja festival has come and I have to play cool. So the point is very clear that whenever there is a close association between two human beings, and if one of them is a carrier, the other one can contract the disease. Now, that's how it happened in the initial lockdown stage. When the lockdown stage was happened, especially in Odisha, many migrant workers, they started coming back.
Okay.
And there was a huge surge in cases, which created a massive disaster in the state of Odisha. And this is not only in Odisha, there are several states which has faced similar problem. Now, if that could be a problem, now this Puja festival is also likely to create such a similar disaster, or maybe still a worse disaster. Because we know very well that the coronavirus is, once someone is suffering, it's not necessarily he's finishing or getting the immunity for lifelong. Yes. The reinfection rates and the death among the reinfection patients is also increasing. So we need to be extremely cautious. And the second point, what you told about the number of cases, the 25 lakhs, is just a speculation. I would put it that it may go really for a toss, that 25 lakh may become 50 lakhs also. You never know. That depends on how frequently we are meeting with each other. And these 3 cardinal principles of social distancing, mask, and sanitation, SMS, has to be practiced very, very diligently. Otherwise, we are likely to face one more big disaster.
Absolutely. And, now we have the Navratri festival, we have Diwali coming in, Christmas coming in as well. These are all festivals where people get together in large numbers. So there are festivals one month after the other. It's a festive season. And, it's understandable. People have been at home for several months because of the lockdown. So they are waiting to mingle with each other, meet their family members. Understandable. But it's also very important to remember that, the fight against coronavirus still continues, isn't it, Doctor? Apart from that, Doctor, apart from the festivals itself, winter, how temperature plays a factor in the spread of coronavirus as well as something that has been discussed. Respiratory illnesses tend to increase during winter. That's the reason why we need to be more careful about it, isn't it? If you could explain to us the factor that temperature and weather could play as well in the spread of the virus.
So there are two issues regarding this. One is during winters, people mostly they come closer. Overcrowding is one of the possibilities.
Okay.
So whenever there is an overcrowding, the transmission of respiratory illnesses goes higher. Second point is about the winter, transmission of the virus during the winters and growth of the virus in the environment. The environmental condition, when it becomes conducive, the virus may grow much faster or the multiply much faster than expected. Okay. In such a situation, it can cause even more dangerous. So it's a dual factors which are responsible. One is about the close proximity of the human beings, and the second thing is the environmental sustainability of the virus. So these two things, again, 1 + 1 will not become 2, it will become 3.
Okay, so your advice to our viewers would be that even if you're having festivities, have it in the new normal. Don't be in a rush to get back to, how it was before the coronavirus era.
Definitely not. Definitely not. Rather, in fact, not only this festival, all the coming festivals, we cannot make sure that when Corona is going to end, and the marriages and the social gatherings which have been relaxed during the unlocking has to be taken very, very seriously and very meticulously.
Absolutely. All right. Dr. Venkat Rao, many thanks for joining us live with your expertise on the subject. So, the expert committee from the government side has said 26 lakh cases, but like the doctor just told us, it could go much beyond that as well, which is why we need to be extremely careful. This is something that we all know, but sometimes in the festivities, we could tend to forget that, which is why it's a reminder yet again. Even if you're celebrating, be absolutely careful. For the next few months, we need to fight the virus until the vaccines come in. So, we need to be extremely careful about what the situation is, and if this one time we are not celebrating these festivals in the usual manner, we can ensure that in the coming years we can do it in a much more grand manner. Well, that's all I have for you today. Let me know in the comment section as well what you think of it, any precautions that you're taking as well for the festival season. I look forward to your comments on that. Thank you for joining me. Please like, share and subscribe to News9 Digital. Take care.